Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Got to do it right.
I'll get a koozie.
No koozie for you. You're not a dad.
Okay.
Oh, what a lovely day.
Beautiful day. You know, I'll tell you what though, John.
What's going on?
I never really was a fan of facial hair. It's kind of growing on me though.
Oh, God. That the best you got?
Today, yeah.
Let me tell you about. I was in the airport the other day,
Yeah?
and I met the scientist who invented the number 0.
Oh, wow. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I told him thanks for nothing.
Ever tell you about my friend Steve?
Your friend Steve?
Yeah, Steve. He was terrified of hurdles, but he's getting over it.
Oh my goodness. Good for Steve. Good for Steve. Ah. Did I tell you how do you make an egg roll?
No, how do you make an egg roll?
You push it.
Of course. Did I ever tell you when I was a kid, the best Christmas present I ever got was a broken drum? You just can't beat it.
A broken drum, you just can't beat it. Wow, that actually makes sense. My wife the other day said she wants to finally embrace her biggest mistake.
Yeah, what would that mistake be?
Well, she hugged me. Did you read about the burglar who kicked in his own door?
Oh, wow. No, why would you?
Yeah, he was working from home that day. Interesting story I read the other day in a science magazine about a laser beam that broke the law.
Broke the law.
You know? They sent him to prison. You're pretty quiet over here.
I don't know what we're supposed to be doing.
You know, see, we got this grill here. I was grilling the other day. And, you know, sometimes things just don't work out. Not everything comes out on the grill like you want it to. I had this really bad sausage. It's the worst.
So my buddy was diagnosed with a terminal illness,
Oh, that's terrible.
and yeah, it's terrible. So he basically went home and got into bed and was kind of just waiting for the finale. He wasn't doing very well, but gosh, he slept and he slept and he slept, and one day he woke up. He could smell his wife was baking his favorite cookies.
Oh, love the smell of cookies.
And that was enough to get him up out of bed, and he went downstairs and he reached for one of the cookies. And his wife said, "Get out of here, those are for your funeral." I had a few jokes I was going to tell you about unemployed people, but they just don't work.
It's no good. Oh, I was thinking about you the other day. I saw a guitar for sale. But it was broken though. No strings attached.
Oh my. No strings attached. You didn't buy it for me?
I thought about it.
What did the beaver say to the tree?
What did the beaver say to the tree?
Nice gnawing you. I bought a sweater a couple weeks ago, but I couldn't wear it because it was so full of static electricity. So I brought it back to the store, and they took it back and gave me another one free of charge.
Nice.
Oh boy. What do you give a scientist who has terrible breath?
Ooh, what's that?
An experiment.
Experiment. Well, I took my kids to the library the other day so they could pick out some books.
You took your kids to the library?
Yeah, so I found one for myself, brought it home. It's a book about glue. I haven't been able to put it down.
Oh my goodness. Wow. A book about glue. Wow. I heard there's a great new book. It's a medical book about constipation. But it hasn't come out yet. So my friend Oli broke his finger the other day. He broke his finger.
It's terrible.
This one, I think.
Yeah.
Somebody punched him in the nose.
Oh. Speaking of broken bones, I don't think I told you this, but yesterday I broke this pinky over here.
You broke your pinky?
Yeah. But on the other hand, I'm fine.
Oh. That's good to know. That's real good to know. Ah. So a buddy of mine's a salesman, and he was off on his route, off in a rural area, and he was cruising down the highway, and he's leisurely, he's milking the clock. He's going about 40 miles an hour, and he notices a chicken running next to his car, keeping right up with him, full speed.
Jeez.
And he noticed the chicken had 3 legs. And he thought, this is very unusual, a 3-legged chicken?
Wow, that's crazy.
He goes, I'm gonna see how fast this sucker can run. So he sped up to 50 miles an hour. Chicken stayed right with him. He was in awe. He goes, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see now how fast he can go. He gears up to 60 miles an hour. The chicken's right with him. 3-legged chicken, keeping up with the car going 60. Now the guy's absolutely awestruck. He goes, I'm gonna put the pedal to the metal. Brings the car up to 70. Chicken's right with him. 80. Chicken's right with him. 90. The chicken passes him. And then the guy sees the chicken take a left turn up a gravel road. And he thinks, oh gosh, I got to see what this is all about. So he pulls in the gravel road, and there he sees the chicken had joined a whole crop of other 3-legged chickens, doing what chickens do, pecking the ground, whatnot. And here comes the farmer, and sees my friend pulled into his yard and says, can I help you, sir? And my buddy says, well, I couldn't help but notice that this 3-legged chicken that ran into your yard. What's going on with that? And the guy said, well, here's the deal. My farming partner and I, we thought, let's invent a new chicken with 3 legs. Because let's say you and your friend are out for dinner, and you order a chicken dinner. You each want a drumstick. Perfect. But what if 3 of you go out to dinner? And all 3 of you want a drumstick?
Never enough legs.
So he said, my business partner and I, we invented the 3-legged chicken. And my friend was actually pretty impressed. He said, wow, that's a pretty good idea. Do they taste good? And the farmer said, we have no idea. We can't catch one.
On that subject of farms, I was kind of curious if you knew, what do you call a cow with 2 legs?
What do you call a cow with 2 legs?
Lean beef.
Lean beef. Oh my gosh. That makes sense. What do you call a cow with no legs?
With no legs.
Ground beef.
Ground beef.
Did I tell you my buddy Oli? He's kind of dumb. He's not the smartest guy.
No?
He's a fantastic skier, though. Oh, he could ski. He was so proud. He won a gold medal for skiing in the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
He was so proud of that gold medal, he brought it home and had it bronzed. When does Friday come before Thursday?
Friday come before Thursday. I don't believe it does.
In the dictionary. How you doing over here?
Good.
Oh, a friend of mine had a terrible cough the other day. terrible cough. He couldn't get rid of his cough. Finally, he said he discovered the perfect cough medicine. And I said, what's that? He said, castor oil. Take a couple big chunks of it. I said, castor oil? He said, yeah, you don't dare cough. What's blue and smells like red paint?
What's blue and smells like red paint?
Blue paint. Did I tell you about my friend who went deer hunting?
No.
Oh, it was terrible. First day of deer hunting. He was up in his deer stand. First day. Looking forward to a good week. Fell out of his deer stand and broke both his legs.
It's terrible.
Ended up going to the doctor, and he complained to the doctor. He said, Doctor, why couldn't this have happened on my last day of hunting? The doctor said, it did.
We were sitting down to eat dinner last night, and my wife had asked me, she was wondering if I had seen the dog bowl. I kind of shook my head and said, well, I didn't know he could bowl.
Oh my goodness. What kind of dog was that, I wonder? How many apples can you grow on a tree? Bet you didn't know this one.
I'm not sure. I do have an apple tree in my yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many apples grow on it? All of them. Well, I hate to keep talking about Ole, but you know, good old Ole, he was coming back from a trip to Norway, coming back to Minnesota, and he was on one of them great big 747s, flying above the Atlantic Ocean. And those big planes have 4 engines, 2 on each wing. And Ole's pretty thrilled, but he's anxious to get home, back to Minnesota. And during the flight, the captain gets on and says, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. It's a little unusual, but we have lost one of our engines. But please know that my crew and I are highly trained and we can land this plane on 3 engines. But we're going to be about an hour late back to Minneapolis. And Ole thought, well, I suppose that's okay. About an hour later, the captain gets back on and says, ladies and gentlemen, this is most unusual. We have lost a 2nd engine on this aircraft. But again, I reassure you, my crew and I are highly trained. We can successfully land this plane with 2 engines. Now Ole's getting a little bit nervous. He's anxious to get home. About another hour later, the captain gets back on, ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you that we have lost engine number 3. But trust that we can land this plane with just 1 engine. But we are going to be 4 to 5 hours late back to Minneapolis. Then Ole said, by gosh, if we lose that 4th engine, we'll be up here all night. I heard somebody broke into your office and stole your dictionary. I just have no words about that.
Can't say anything there. Yeah. So I recently started golfing.
You started golfing?
I started golfing. I've learned every time I go, I always bring 2 pairs of socks.
2 pairs of socks golfing.
Yeah, just in case I get a hole in one.
Boy, you're just a wellspring of comedy. Kind of reminds me of those, you know, your jokes are kind of cute. Did you hear about those cute bed bugs? Oh, the cutest little pair of bed bugs. So cute. These little bed bugs, they fell in love. They're going to get married in the spring. Ole and Lena were on a little trip, and everybody knows they don't get along very well. I don't know how they stayed married as long as they did. And here they were on a vacation, and they were at a famous attraction known as the largest, deepest wishing well. And they'd been bickering all day as usual, and here they walked up to the edge of this wishing well, and Ole leaned over a little too far and fell in and sunk all the way to the bottom.
Oh no.
And Lena said to herself, by gosh, this thing does work. I have a friend who's a cowboy. He's so happy. He's a Jolly Rancher. Well, I used to have a pet. I used to have a pet octopus.
Oh wow, an octopus?
Yeah. Used to, though. He had to move away. He got drafted into the army. As he's so well armed. When is a door not a door? When it's a jar.
What's the jar? I was sitting at home the other night with my wife.
Yeah.
She asked me for some chapstick. I accidentally passed her a glue stick. She hasn't talked to me since.
Oh,
And that's a bad thing?
oh, finally you speak up.
Sorry.
Where do you learn to make ice cream?
Where do you learn to make ice cream?
Sunday school, dummy.
Sunday school.
Why did the little poodle buy a clock?
Why did the poodle buy a clock?
He wanted to be a watchdog. Oh, well, here we're going to go a little off color here.
Oh.
Why couldn't the toilet paper cross the road? Got stuck in a crack.
That's what we're looking for.
A friend of mine got stuck in traffic the other day because there was a train. You know how that happens? Train crossing the road and you gotta wait, you gotta wait, you gotta wait. And it turned out it was a train carrying a load of bubble gum. It was a real choo-choo train.
So I gotta ask you, John, do you know what you call a priest that becomes a lawyer?
What do you call a priest who becomes a lawyer?
A father-in-law.
Oh my goodness, wow. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh my Lord. What kind of fish can do a tonsillectomy? A sturgeon.
Sturgeon. Well, you know, fish are really smart.
Fish are smart.
They are. They swim in schools.
Oh my goodness, you're right, actually, they do. They do. What do you give what kind of an award do you give a dentist who wins Dentist of the Year? A little plaque.
A little plaque. You know, what do dentists call x-rays?
Say that again.
What do dentists call x-rays?
What do dentists call x-rays? I don't know.
Toothpicks.
Oh boy, oh boy.
So my dog that I was telling you about
Yeah?
has this habit of chasing after people on bicycles.
Oh no.
It's gotten so bad that I've had to take his bike away. Did you hear about the little bear in Australia that just couldn't get a job? No.
He was underqualified. What do you call two guys with no arms and no legs hanging on a wall? Kurt and Rod. What do you call a guy with no arms and legs laying on your front doorstep? Matt. What do you call a guy with no arms and legs in your swimming pool? Bob. That's right.
You know, I had a pretty good construction joke for you.
You had a good construction joke for me?
Yeah, but I'm still working on it.
Oh my goodness. So a buddy of mine was having lunch out at one of those really quaint outdoor cafeterias the other day, where they got the tables and the chairs set up and beautiful awning and French music. And he was enjoying his sandwich, and table next to him there was a gentleman sitting, and there was a cute little dog near his feet. And my friend said, "Does your dog bite?" And the guy said, "Nope." My friend reached down to pet the dog and got his finger bit. And he said, "I thought you said your dog doesn't bite." The guy said, "That ain't my dog."
Funny thing about dogs. Do you know why people can't hear dog whistles?
I don't know. Why can't they hear a dog whistle?
Because a dog can't whistle.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. How is having a good friendship and wetting your pants similar? Everybody can see it, but only you can feel the warmth. So I got to tell you about my buddy Ole again. He got his pilot's license, and he decided he was going to fly down to Iowa. So he took his plane down to Iowa. He got back, he said, "I'm never going to go there again. The runways are stupid. The runways are 3 miles wide, but only 100 feet long." The past, the present, and the future got into an argument. It was tense. That's it. That's it. Oh. I was reading in National Geographic the other day about a big whale that came close to a beach and swallowed a clown. He said, "Oh, that tasted funny."
I don't think I told you that I've recently started a new diet.
You've started a new diet?
I did. Like no chocolate, no candy. Like I love, Kit Kats and Milky Ways. Not having any of those. I've only been on this diet for a few days, but you can really see it in my face. There's no joy.
Have you been in North Moorhead lately?
Not recently.
Gosh, there's a lot of turkeys. They're all over. You got to slow down almost every couple blocks because there's all these turkeys. But I heard one of them got arrested for foul play. What do computers like to eat with their sandwich? Microchips. Come on, that was good.
I was sitting down with a couple of friends the other day, and we were just talking about all sorts of things, and we realized that I have no idea what Armageddon means. I mean, it's not like it's the end of the world or anything, though.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking about Armageddon, what does an evil chicken lay?
What does an evil chicken lay?
Deviled eggs. I went to a wedding a couple weeks ago. It was so emotional. This wedding was so emotional, even the cake was in tears. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
What do you call someone who just cannot stick with their diet? A deserter.
Wow, that's gonna be me. Did I ever tell you that I can actually cut a log in half just by looking at it?
You didn't tell me that.
I know it's hard to believe, but I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Oh, that's pretty good. I will admit that's pretty funny. What does a librarian use to go fishing? Bookworm.
Have you ever been scuba diving before?
I've never been scuba diving.
Me neither. But, I've always wondered, when you ever see someone scuba diving, why do they always fall backwards?
I don't know, I've wondered that too.
If they fell forwards, they'd still be in the boat.
Oh. Okay. What do you call 2 ducks and a cow?
2 ducks and a cow.
Quackers and milk.
Speaking of cows, do you know why cows wear bells?
Why do cows wear bells?
Because their horns don't work.
Oh my goodness, wow. Did you hear about the 2 brothers who invented bells?
No.
Yeah, their names were Ding and Dong. Speaking of that, what kind of music do the planets like?
What kind of music do the planets like?
Neptunes. A couple elevators. It's kind of weird. I was in an office building the other day and I walked by the elevator bank and I heard the elevators talking to each other. One of the elevators said to the other one, I think I'm coming down with something.
Speaking of elevators, I don't really tell a lot of people this, but I'm actually terrified of elevators.
You are.
I am. I'm taking steps to avoid them.
Oh my gosh. You'll get over it though. Elevators can be scary. They do have their ups and downs. What did the little boy say to his fingers? I'm counting on you. Oh, I did hear a sad story on the news the other night though.
Yeah.
Kind of tragic. There was a big fire at the shoe factory. Many souls were lost. Did you hear about the guy who drank a whole jar of invisible ink?
Oh no.
Yeah, he's at the hospital right now waiting to be seen.
Did you know they recently discovered that birthdays are directly related to good health?
Birthdays are directly related to good health.
The more you have, the longer you live.
Wow, how about that? Well, that's like the diet article I read the other day. It says you can live to be very old if you eat an apple a day for 100 years.
It's a good plan.
That's a good plan.
Yeah. So as you know, I work around the building and I fix things and do all that every day, just all sorts of different tasks every day. People are pretty shocked when they find out I'm not a very good electrician.
Oh my goodness.
Disclaimer, we don't do our own electrical.
Thank goodness. Just found out some Bible scholars discovered some interesting things.
Yeah?
That Jesus actually owned a car. Yeah. It was a Chrysler. And the disciples, his disciples, they got along pretty well. They also had a car. They got along so well, they were always in one accord.
Speaking of driving, I just recently learned that it's the law that you're required to turn your headlights on when it's raining in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know when it's raining in Amsterdam?
It probably is. Oh my goodness.